Georgia boy, buddy, you on here? You got anything you can share, or are you just going to sit back tonight?
Yeah, Hammer, I'm here. It's interesting, just listening to you and Blano. Yeah, I'm coming from the point that we're really close.
Right. I understand that, but spill your beans, brother. If you feel like talking about it, go ahead, because you may be right. We could very well be wrong.
Well, Blano talked about his call. I got a call as well about an hour and a half ago of the same sort at 386, though, and that it would be showing very soon.
Yeah, that's what I got, 386.
Yeah.
Hammer, you said 384.
Yeah, you said 384 as well.
Yes.
I did?
But, yeah.
Hold on. Oh, nope, that's what I wrote down. Sorry. When Hammer said 384, I thought, man, I thought I said 386, but I wrote down 384. So, listen, I feel like somebody's taking a blender to my brain.
Well, it doesn't matter. Hey, 380 something's fine with me. But anyway, it was a pretty good call from a pretty good source that has never said that before, and he also said that we would see it this week, and he said that last week. So he's been pretty consistent. He's always been consistent, months prior. Even when I didn't believe him and I thought we were closer. Not that I think it's going to happen tomorrow, but all the information and indications that I'm getting is we're super close. The charts say we're super close. I always go back to that. It could pop any time as far as that goes with the markets. It's primed, ready to go. I think that we're closer to being right now than we are at the end of the month. In particular, I know it should happen before the 21st of March. And that's because a lot of European debt and American debt is due at that point, and it has to pop. So, I think it's going to happen. I think to collateralize that debt or pay it off, it's going to has to happen before that, even that due date of March 21st. So I think we're right here. I thought it last week as well. I thought yesterday was a really good time, and today was a really good time. But I'll take it tomorrow or any time in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I think we're real close, right on top of this thing.
Well, I would agree. We're close. We're very, very close. And just to the audience listening, I would like y'all to know that every person on this call, I respect. Any guest I ever have on, I respect to the utmost and the fullest. Just because their information don't line up with mine, that has no grievances between us. That's what makes these calls flow. It's the difference of information. Georgia Boy follows one set of things. Me and Blano tend to follow the same set of sequences. I believe that Angel Quest is on here and Putty Cat's on here. They're going to follow a different set of things, but we all get along. Whether or not our information exactly jobs or not, it's not an issue that we fight about because we can all work it out amongst friends. That's what makes the information good. I personally have fallen back to following strictly Dinar. Dinar was my thing. It's what I know. It's where my contacts are. So I got confused when I started following Prosperity and Global. It's just better for me to fall back to my roots. It's easier on my system, on my stress level and everything else, because I know Dinar. I don't know this other stuff. Does that mean I think these other people are crazy? No, I don't, because the people that I have on these calls and I talk to are realistic. They're logical. They may be hearing something saying today or tonight, but they don't mind reasoning with me and listening to me also, and we meet a happy ground. Lord knows we all want it today, tonight. Just some of these people keep saying it every day. It's going to be today, tonight. That's where the issue comes in, that these people are hurting people. But
man, telling you.
Yeah. Angel Quest, you out there, sweetie? If so, can you share anything with us? I know she was on the call.
Maybe she's trying to get unmuted. I actually stumbled across her trail today.
Her trail today?
Yeah, I stumbled across her trail today. I found out that I was talking to some people that were talking to some people that were talking to her. So it's a very small world, as still it is. I didn't know she was going to be on the call.
Oh.
I'm assuming it's a she.
Yeah, I believe she's on there.
Okay.
Miss Adele is she's still back there. Is the name?
I believe so.
Initials DS.
Initials. I'm sorry.
Initials DS. They still on there? No.
No. I don't see that.
Well, she might not be here no more. Putty Cat, are you there, sweetie?
Oh, DS. D is in David.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Well.
Okay. Angel Quest, if you're listening.
Flash her a line or something.
She's not muted.
She's not muted?
No.
Maybe she don't have anything to share tonight.
Emma, maybe you're confusing
Putty
Cat with Angel Quest? Is that possible?
Could we be?
No.
I don't know.
Are you on 2 lines?
But
no,
you're not
I'm
in area
on
code
one,
917.
I'm hearing you guys go mute, unmute on my phone, so I'm thinking maybe you're thinking it's Angel Quest and not Putty Cat.
No, but I didn't know if you knew you were muted.
Yeah.
Okay. I just thought I would check.
Well, Putty Cat, do you have anything you can share?
My world is quiet right now, Hammer. I'm watching everybody and their contributions to this story.
Okay, well, maybe you can help. We're going to do a little Q&A. Maybe you can help with that here in a minute.
Sure.
Do I have any guests out there I'm missing, Miss Adele? I only know of those 4. Jeffrey, you out there, brother?
Yes, sir. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Got a little peep or something you can share with this audience? Yes, sir. I hear you fine.
No, I'm just listening tonight. I think Blano's on the mark. I think Georgia Boy's on the mark. Makes me very excited to hear about the 386. As you know, I believe it's going to be somewhere between 375 and 391, and I think we see it mid next week.
Okay, well, I mean, we're all right in the same ballpark. No matter how we look, we're all right here.
I would have to agree.
Only thing I may go into is I still think there'll be a 3-day delay to get into the banks.
I agree.
I
think we'll see the rates by Wednesday.
Okay, well, that would be good. Miss Adele, were you trying to say something?
I was just going to concur with Jeffrey. My source had my most 3 unfavorite words today, and it was not this week, which I have heard too many weeks, but that was the call. I was expecting something otherwise and a little disappointed, but, you know, it's certainly happened before many times, and that was the call. So I have to go along with...
And you follow the global stuff, and you heard that, but you probably heard that from your Denora source, I would think. No,
I heard it from, you know, a source I've had for years and years who follows the other game but well aware of the RV, and that is our boots on the ground is the RV, because that's something we can actually observe from a perspective that you can't from the other side. But either way, the word just came down that not this week. So that's, you know, when I hear that, I kind of go, okay, darn. So,
well,
you know, how that all
audience, y'all heard it pretty much from everybody on the call tonight. That's more than likely not till next week. I personally wish I could boycott some of them other sites just to show them that they don't need to post it. I mean, they don't need to post that, but still. We can do Q&A if anybody wants to maybe get ready for some Q&A. I think we really didn't have
Q&A session started.
Info tonight. We just had some assuring info to let y'all know that we will be RVing fairly quickly. More than likely not this week. Could it be this week? Of course it could, but very slim chance. Do we want it right now? I wanted it yesterday. I wanted it last week. We just need to stay grounded I know I had no less than 40 texts earlier of people just laughing when they heard about the two people that said it RV this afternoon, because they cried wolf so many times. When it happens, people aren't even going to believe it anymore, because these people texting me today didn't believe it, and that's the scenario we don't need to be in. We need to have all the intel providers on the same page where we can back each other up. That would be the perfect scenario. If we have anybody in the queue, we're going to take some questions. Not a whole lot tonight, folks. We might go to another 40, 45 minutes, maybe tops, tonight. We're not going to stay on long. When you come on, please state your name.
Or your handle.
Tell us who you want to speak to. And let's try to only do one question. If it seems like it rolls, we'll work it out as it goes along. Again, I want to thank, before I get too far, Lady Lily, thank you, wonderful job transcribing. All the people over at the Planet Dinar helping. Blano with Planet Dinar, thank you for coming on.
I'm happy to be here.
Jedi, IQD, nospinzone.com, thank you for letting me hang out at the site and use it to my fullness over there. It's been greatly. Cash-in info. I'm going to touch real briefly on this, y'all. I'm not giving my email address out anymore. If you have it, you're welcome to use it. I've made specific requests on cash-in stuff. I need amounts and legal names. If you didn't send it, you're not in the package. And I'm not giving no more information, and this will be the last week any information is taken. We have abundance. We've cleared all the names. Most everybody should have got some type of confirmation email. There's no more names in my email. If you did not get a confirmation, it means you didn't put some information correctly and your name was dropped from the list. Simple as that. The bank asked me for some specific information, and that's what we need, names and amounts, legal names and amounts.
Hammer.
And this will be the last time this is the last time this offer will be spoke of from me. Q&A, Mr. Dale, let's move on with it.
Okay, just let me say that when we went through the emails, there were more than 1,000 emails that were dropped from the system because they did not have any information in them. They just said, put me on the list, and you left an email address. That was not sufficient. Okay.
No, it won't be.
First question.
It don't work that way. You're not going to see the package and then tell me what you got. It ain't going to happen. We need to know what kind of figures we have to negotiate. So we just can't have a name or email address and contact you after I have a package. That bird don't fly with me. But anyway, thank y'all for who did. If you got a confirmation email, you know you were taken care of and your name is on the database. I think we're going to try. I think maybe Mr. Bell said I might be some kind of way we can set up an email list where I can maybe send some emails out now and then.
Yes.
But don't expect it as of yet because it's not set up. Okay, Mr. Dell, next, let's go on ahead. Okay. And ladies, all y'all who helped me with the list, thank y'all so much. Miss Prosperous, who I can't remember who I had.
Stargirl?
I'm bringing Stargirl, Target, Big Dog 55, Prosperous Sister, I can't know your screen name. Thank y'all all so much. And if I'm forgetting anybody, I'm sorry. It's been a long day. Let's go ahead, Mr. Dale. I've said this 4 times. I'm rambling.
Okay. First caller, area code 231.
Yes, hi. Bear Leg Bob from Michigan calling. How are you?
Just wonderful tonight, sir.
Hey, the question I have the Iraqi government instigated their tariffs yet, even before an RV has been set?
Winalot spoke to me a little bit about this today. Georgia boy, did she speak with you on this? Do you maybe come in if you think I'm answering this wrong, Gary? If she talked to you about it, from what I understand, is they did their tariffs in a very oddball way. Instead of doing it on a set fee, they're doing it on a percentage of tonnage. So in that case, they don't have to RV to initiate tariffs.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct.
Does that make any sense to you, caller? Because I didn't know much about it. I'm just repeating what I was told.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, next caller, area code 214.
Next caller, please.
Area code 832.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
This is Ruben from Houston, Texas. How's everybody doing?
It's a wonderful night. A little bit windy. You know, you're out there in Houston. You ain't far. I mean, you got a hurricane blowing.
Yeah, it's windy over
Probably
here.
getting some rain over there.
In spots we are getting a little bit of rain.
Tonight, sir?
My thoughts are, when are they going to seat the ministers, or is that something that's just a bluff? They already got them. It's just a matter of announcing them. That still keeps, bugging me. I don't know if they got them and haven't announced them, or they really don't have them and they haven't decided who's going to do it. Can you give me a thought on that, please?
Well, I'll give you my take on that, and Blano can probably back me up on it. And Blano may come in with a little different scenario than I tell you. They're all placed. They're ready to go. Actually, from what I'm understanding, is from some information I got the last day or two, the only one left not really officially in position is Alawi, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm bad with names. I'm giving you a fair warning, I'm bad with names. The one that starts with an A is his position is off. He's actually being reassigned and shuffled to a new position. I believe don't take this 100%. From what I'm hearing, I believe that actually Shabibi is going to set him as like an honorary vice to the CBI, where he has really no authority. He's just going like an honorary vice. But when they can finish his transfer, I think that's the last position that needs to be filled to completely, officially, and we can go publicly in the Gazette with the GOI. Blano's going to tell you something on it, too. Their names have been on the door forever, but explain a little bit on that, Blano, please.
Yeah, the Alawi is in a state of juggle right now, and that is a reflection, a mirroring, if you will, of the HCL Accord. And so they're doing sort of a last-minute shuffle, but that's an indication to the rest of the world that the herbal agreement, not the HCL, sorry guys, that the herbal agreement is alive and well and breathing and probably standing on both its legs. The other ministers that have been held back from public proclaiming have actually been seated and working, and as one of my contacts over there reported, their names are painted on their door and have been since last year. So without going over there and walking into the Parliament building and taking my camera, that's the best I can do for you. But I do believe that that's good intel.
So in other words, they haven't just been announced, but they already know who they are. They just haven't officially announced in the Gazette. Yeah,
they haven't been announced to the world at large, but they're appointed. Their names are painted. They're working. They're fulfilling their positions, and you know the parliamentary body is complete, and they all know who each other is. So, but
yeah,
by virtue of the fact that there's so much stuff loose laying around, and all the collateral wealth that exists in the United States that was not an intended event, then that's been held back a little bit because they want to have some excuses to lean on a little bit like a cane until they're ready to actually, pop the trigger or push the button or whatever you want to call it. And
one more thing, they got a democracy like we do. why do they have a prime minister and we don't? We just have a president. They got President Talibani, and then they got a prime minister. We don't have prime ministers over here.
Yeah, it's not actually a democracy like we do. You said they have a democracy like we do, and it's a democracy, but it's not like ours. It's very similar. But
who's in charge? Is the president or the prime minister?
They have different areas of authority. Depends on what you're talking about. If you'll remember, Maliki wanted control of the military. They all have
their own little section that they can rule over, basically.
They didn't give him control
of the military. That's why there's been so much issue trying to get all this in alignment. You got 3 people in power, and they all want complete power. It's the best way that I can explain it. And no one's going to have absolute power over there.
Okay. Yeah, all right, then that's all I have, gentlemen.
You call it.
Yeah,
that's all I had, and thank you very much.
Yeah, they need. It's like a 3-signature check. Okay, got to 3 signatures. 2 won't do it. There you go.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Georgia Boy and Putty Cat, if y'all have something, feel free to step in now.
Next caller, 251.
Hi, Hammerman. This is Donna R.
Hey, Donna. How you doing, darling?
All right. I was wondering this rate that it could be an RI instead of an RV. Is that possible? Because I was thinking.
Yeah, well, of course it's possible. Will it? I doubt it, but it is possible. I mean, they could pull something over us. Actually, I think if they RI is probably in that 384, 386 range. If I'm adding right in my head.
Yeah.
Blano, can you peep any on that, or that's too confidential?
Yeah. No. Hi, Donna. Blano here. How you doing, kid?
All right, Blano. How are you?
What's happening and I think goes together with some of the little puzzle pieces that got slid my way over the last few days, is that they may be calling for an RI to kind of kick the thing off, and if they, I've told you a while, and then Hammerman came up with it on his own, I believe, the 572 rate, give or take 45 cents. So the range there is 527 to 617. That's the range that I was given a couple of years ago. So, excuse me, if they want to do an RI first and preserve an RV, they can say that 386 number is the actual place that their currency shoulda, coulda, woulda sort of been at.
Yeah.
So, and I got that right before the call, so that was incredible news. But I posted in November of 10 that I thought it would pop, it would jump. There would be a concurrent jump in the Iranian or the Kuwaiti dinar, and they would pop into the middle threes. And 384, 386, 2 years later, considering inflation and where we've all been, 386, 384, whatever the number was, sounds pretty close to that number to me. So.
Yeah, because they were talking about the inflation and how high it was in Iraq and how much it's going to take to get them out of their hole. I mean, look how long it's been. And, look how high the inflation is going to be if they keep on waiting. And
yeah, well, they keep waiting, and part of that is this. Part of what's happening is an assignment, not an assignment. God, I wish I could talk. Part of what's holding us up is an acknowledgement. That's the word I'm looking for. An acknowledgement of the assessed evaluation of the different aspects of the Iraqi economy, which would be used to back the currency. There isn't enough gold in the world. There isn't enough gold and silver combined in the world. So when they're talking about a basket of currency, that basket of currency will be balanced by a basket of assets. So you're talking oil in the ground, minerals in the ground, precious stones, and of course, the agricultural product will be assigned a value. So all this stuff's been done. They've been working on that for 2.5 years, but these things change with the annual seasons and with new discoveries. They did have a big one here about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So what they're trying to do is finally draw a line in the sand and say, okay, from this moment, where are we at? And let's all look at that. Let's agree. Let's sign off and say that's the value. Now, we want to have the country at 25 billion dinar, So we take the $25 billion and divide it into that value, and where are we? But they keep finding more stuff, which is why some of these rates that you're hearing, I think these $12 rates, the Saudi Real is about 29 cents some time back. Haven't looked at it lately, don't really care. But a lot of the regional rates are so much lower, I just don't see a $12 rate. I just I'll take it. Hey, I'll take it. I'll write a 2-page apology to everybody who said it.
I know, right? I would love for it to come in at 12 or 22. That'd be wonderful.
I would party for a month at $1.
Well,
I know.
Well, Donna, I hope we help you, darling.
Yeah, you did. And
Miss Adele, I've lost the internet, so you can't hear me. I can't seem to get back online.
Okay. Next
Go
caller.
ahead with the next caller. Thank you, Donna. Great answer,
Thanks, Donna.
Okay, 573.
Yes. I think they covered a little bit of my question on this last call, but I was just wondering where these different numbers are coming from, the $12 rate and the rate that you were talking about, $3.40, $3.50, somewhere in there. And I was just wondering what the difference was, or whether there's people getting their info mixed up, or what the answer to that is. And what?
Okay, I'll run this down for you real quick. The rate before the war internationally for the Iraqi dinar was in the 270s. So say 270, 345, long in there someplace. At that time, it might have been as high as 280 something. There's some dispute on that, but it's not important. At that time, Saddam was demanding a 322 rate in the country, and he did it because he thought he could, and he was a big bad guy. He's going to get away with it. So what it did was just truly complicate things in incredible ways, and it made international deals almost impossible. You had to fudge all the figures to make it work. So the thinking is, 20% up over 20 years, like everything else, minimums will get you to the 386 rate. And, tonight several of us heard a 384 rate, 2 cents. That's effectively the same number in my book. So that's where that comes from. Now, some people, they add up the store of value of the Iraqi economy and divide that and do these little math projections. And they say, well, Iraq could support a $16 rate. Okay, well, I could afford a $16 steak, but that doesn't mean I'm going to pay $16 to get one if I can do it for $6.99, So, and where some of these where this $12.36 rate comes from, I can't answer that because I didn't get that rate, and I don't believe that rate, but I reserve the right to be wrong. And like I said, I'll write a 2-page apology, but you'd have to ask people who are putting that number out, So that's where if you take the 322, which was the demanded rate by Saddam, and the 270 some, and you mix those together, and you add 20-25% for inflation since the Iraqi dinar got suppressed 20 years ago practically, then you're looking at a 380, so 385, 86, 390 rate, just with inflation. People figure, okay, if the war hadn't come along, that's probably about where it would be. That's the thinking there. So
okay, thank you. May I have one other quick question?
Hurry.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. They always say when you cash in, you're not supposed to show your driver's license. You're supposed to be protected and show a passport. And I found out that here in Missouri that it takes about 8 weeks to get a passport. And I found out that maybe Louisiana, you can get one in 1 day. Do you have any other suggestions other than a driver's license, what to do about a passport?
I'll say my
I live in Louisiana, and I know you can drive to New Orleans, and you can walk out the door with your passport in hand.
Same day you walk in?
Yes, sir. Walk in, walk out. I've done it personally about 45 minutes.
Okay,
yeah, but how long ago was that? How long ago was that? Can I tell you something? It went from a 2-page application to like 9 pages. I mean, they're asking all kinds of weird stuff since this guy took office. I mean, it's a huge application.
But I know people that's personally done it in the last 2 months.
Okay, here's the thing I want to know. Somebody answer this one for me.
You have your own
because maybe I'm behind the times, but I hadn't heard that you had to have a passport to get anything cashed in, and why wouldn't your driver's license suffice? So, are you guys hearing you have to have a passport? That's the first I've heard of this.
Well,
Blano, there was some rumors that But I heard someone hollering.
Yeah,
there was some effort at one time, security-wise, that they could scan your driver's license, and it was a security risk while you're standing outside of a bank. I was told way back a long time ago, don't go with your driver's license. I sense, and I still don't know how big a security risk that will be. I'm not the world going to get me freak. You know, you need to be safe, but you need to be realistically safe. I'm not telling nobody what to do or what not to do. I'm not hiring armored guards. I'm a country boy. I think I can handle that in myself. Just be wise. But passport is an option.
But you would have no problem being wise, you would have no problem using a driver's license.
I wouldn't.
Well, I can tell you what I did, caller. I went to the DMV, and I got me a state ID. And in Louisiana, you can use a P.O. box.
Okay, now, what is the DMV?
What I did. Now, I'm not telling you to
Department of Motor Vehicles,
to lie to the people with a fake address. Just maybe leave a number out or something. Forget it.
Okay. The DMV, is that a motor vehicle?
Yeah, Department of Motor Vehicles.
Of any state?
Yes, Driver's License Bureau.
Well, they call it something else here in Missouri.
Okay. Thank you. All I needed to know. Have a good evening, and thank you.
Thanks, caller.
Okay.
Next question. Area code 301.
Hey, how you doing, Hammer? Hello?
Just finding you.
Hey, okay, one question. That question here. You said that there will be other countries RVing. Could you tell me if the Dong will be one of them?
The Vietnamese Dong is set to go with the Iraqi dinar. I've gotten some info stating that the Dong should be in the high 30s. I'm going to speak for Blano here. Blano, didn't your information come across as 17 to 22 cents, Blano? Was that what you're hearing
18,
on the
yeah,
Dong?
Yeah, I recently got 18 cents, and it was a fairly reliable source. When I got my Dong, I was hoping for somewhere between 3 and 6 cents, and my can't say that. Let's see, my fantasy rate was like a quarter. That's the one you're never going to see.
Right.
And then this is what I heard was 18 to 22. And
I can deal with that.
I can deal with it too. Like I said, I've been tickled to death.
Caller, there is but it is supposed to go. I guess I can say this out loud on here. Henry, my contact, has told me, this has been months back, that they should go, if not exactly together, within a matter of hours of each other.
Oh, good. Okay. That's good. All right. Thanks a lot, Ham.
All right. Next caller, 770.
Hey, this is H. Big Daddy from the Planet, and I was just wondering, I'm sure that's one of the speakers on here, and I'd like to thank y'all for being here for us, but somebody's seen the Stansberry report, the New America 23, 25, something like that, and I was just wondering what y'all think the correlation between America losing the world currency status and this might be with China becoming such a monster.
Well, I'll jump on this real quick. I think he's definitely on to something.
I couldn't hear.
I hope he's wrong, but I'm afraid that in many respects he's right. The guy's got an unbelievably good track record, and I hope really that he has overreached himself at this point. But I worry that he may not have. That's all I can tell you on that one.
Thank you.
Good to hear from you, buddy.
Good to hear from y'all.
Next caller, 818.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, good.
Sure can. Go ahead.
I want to know, in your opinion, who is the decision maker to RV? There's several different points of view. One is that there's been a sign off to the IMF on the part of Iraq. Then you hear answers about that Iraq is a sovereign nation. They're in charge of their own RV, even though there's been pressure on the part of the IMF and China.
I'll give you my rundown on it, caller, and then I'll let the other ones, because you may hear 3 or 4 different answers on this.
Okay, well, I'd appreciate it, because I'm getting sources from several good sources, and I know so much right now that I'm totally confused.
Welcome to
the club. Well, I'll give you mine, and I'll let everybody else have a quick little turn. Well, I'll go pretty quick at it.
The more you
I'm going to give you a quick take of what I've been told all the way back, going back to February 5th. I've been told since February 5th that the UST is completely out of the picture. They have no say-so, none, zero, absolute, out of the picture.
Okay.
The banks, 1,880, don't quote me, either 1,883 or 1,886 corporate banks worldwide have an encrypted live rate. But it's no good because it's encrypted. You can't read it. Shabibi will tell the BIS to release the rate. He'll send them a 3-digit code. 5 to 10 minutes, the rate will go live worldwide. Not 2 hours later, not 30 minutes later, not oops, we had a glitch, not oops, the code didn't take. All that's over and done. It will be a matter of when Shabibi and Maliki, when they say go to the BIS, 5 to 10 minutes, the rate will be live at 1,800 plus banks worldwide, and it will take them a matter of hours to get it to their lesser branches. But thousands and thousands of people will be able to verify the rate within 15 minutes of it going live. Blano, you got a take on it?
Yeah, I think he can answer his own question. Let me ask you a couple of questions, Deputy. All right, caller?
As if I know.
Oh, yeah, you know. Who owns the currency that we're holding, the Iraqi dinar currency that we're holding? Who owns it?
Central Bank of Iraq.
And who is the premier figure at the Central Bank of Iraq?
Governor Shabibi.
Exactly. And he's a citizen of what country?
Iraq.
So, subject to the conditions set upon him by the government of Iraq, he's the guy, right? Makes sense.
Yeah. Now then, but could you put, you answered it very, very well, both of you. Can you put this to rest? Talibani is taking a seat of power to replace Alawi in dealing with this Maliki bloc, and
yes, that's correct.
And getting all the articles totally they're done, but totally implemented, and including that should lead to the GOI. And do you feel that all that has to be totally in cement, implemented before Shabibi can do this? Because I understand Shabibi has unilateral power according to the Constitution to do it at 0.86, but they're not going to do that because that would be putting the country in harm's way at that cheap of rate. But he does have the authority to do it. But if he did it, that would be a catalyst 4 or 5 days later for the others to fill in the blanks. As I said, I know too much.
Yeah, you do.
Right. Well, that's the problem with a lot of people. They overanalyze.
Here again, let me give you a couple of elements, and then you can answer the question yourself.
Okay.
Shabibi has been at this new Iraqi dinar thing and the CBI deal for about how long, do you know?
Years.
Yeah. And he's a man of about what age?
67, 70.
I think he's 69, but he may have turned 70 by now. So
well,
probably
he should get this done so he should get it done so he could enjoy it.
yeah, probably he's not got another gig after this. And I've made a public statement several times in the past that he's probably the best, most disciplined central banker on the planet in the last century. Okay, with those things in mind, and with respect to the fact that you may or may not be aware that some months back, Malicki threw a hand grenade at him, and he immediately responded with a whole phalanx of nuclear weapons. So with all that in mind, because Malicki immediately backed down, he didn't want to play ball with that guy. So with all that in mind, do you think that Shabibi's going to let his last greatest work?
Wait. You said Shabibi threw a hand grenade at Malicki?
No, Malicki threw a hand grenade at Shabibi. I think
Okay.
he was thinking that he could unseat him and get somebody of his own choosing in there, and thereby gain somewhat more control. So as soon as he threw the hand grenade at Shabibi, Shabibi responded with nuclear missiles, and so Malicki decided he didn't want to play that game. So he got out. That lasted for, about 14 days, and I think 12 days. And I think that one guy said that we got more in that span of time from the document dump that Shabibi did, than we had gotten in the previous 5 or 6 years, and that was a knowledgeable guy. Do you remember that incident?
I didn't get that one, but I'm glad to hear it.
Okay, it was last spring. Anyway, so I'm just trying to illuminate the question with facts so that you can come to your own conclusion.
Thank
There's
you.
no way
You're doing
Shabibi
good.
is going to allow this to go sideways in, with a 0.86 number after all the work he's done and the inflation that he's controlled and everything else that he's accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to get to the 2-yard line and fumble the ball. He knows where he's going. And I think it's pretty clear from their exchange last spring that and Malicki knows, and Shabibi knows that Malicki knows, that if he gets in his way, he's going to get stepped on hard and fast, because that's exactly the way it went before. And Malicki withdrew in the press. I mean, it was a public thing.
So Shabibi's pretty fed up now, isn't he?
Oh, you got that right. Yeah.
Do you think
the answer to your question, does the whole government have to be seated? I'll voice my opinion and shut the heck up so other people can talk. But I don't think so. No. Ideally, maybe, but I don't think that's a precursor requirement.
So they could go ahead and do this and then just implement all this stuff quietly and not announce it in advance. And maybe that's probably a better way to do it.
Yeah, they won't announce it.
Maybe they can do what they want.
There is a handful.
Will they do some crazy stuff? Probably not. But in a nutshell, they can do what they want.
Yeah, there's a double fistful of what I call markers that really have some priorities that need to be addressed before they do it. But hey, we're talking about Iraq. So.
And then the last quick question is: Do you think we're close? Do you think we're on the threshold of it?
I think they want to strut pretty big into the Arab conference.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I started talking about this earlier. I don't know if I finished. Where I can't go too long. I was thinking earlier in late February, from around the 20s, that we might see the 6th to the 9th, and then I had to move that. And I'm currently looking at between the 17th and the 22nd to get these things done. I got to mute for a minute. So
Blano's serious on the 17th to the 22nd. I'm about the 12th to the 17th. So all the info is right here together. Georgia Boy might be a little sooner than that. So, caller, you're saying close. We're definitely close.
So it's really building momentum now, isn't it?
Oh my God, yes. Oh yeah, this thing is coming. I've gotten more solid stuff, especially from articles, just the news floating around. Heck, Shabibi was on TV 3 times, maybe 4 times in the last 9 days. I mean, that's just crazy. So there's a lot of stuff happening. A lot of articles breaking loose. If you follow the articles, as Blano said earlier, Footy Cat, Miss Kimmy Wimmy, Win a Lot, Free Fall, all these guys read and read and read. I don't know how they do it. I got to give them tremendous kudos and jump for joy with respect, because how they sit there and read this monotonous stuff in my mind, it's monotonous and just I couldn't never do it. But they find some good stuff in it if you can dig through it. You have to have the capability. So, in a nutshell, there's way more information out there now than there has been in a long, long time.
Oh, thank you very much.
Before we take that last caller, Putty Tat, are you back there, sweetie?
I'm here, Hammer.
Can you give us I know you look at a lot of articles and stuff. Can you give us on your take on how you think the information, how it's built? Would you say it's way better than it's ever been coming out of Iraq?
Absolutely. And I follow the news crews, as I call them. There's so many, mixed in some of the chats that I'm in, which I'm usually in Meg or your chat. I get around. I've counted from what others have said, and I mean that crowd, that Shabibi's been on television in Iraq 5 times in the past 10 days. I think we're up to 5 today. So that's really tremendous when you consider, that he is an equal to Bernanke, if you guys can understand that. Well, you obviously can. In his world. I mean, he is top dog in the financial world. So he's speaking a lot, and he's making it pretty clear where he's coming from. Everybody's making it pretty clear they're ready. I go back to the fact that, this is all about Iraq, but I think we can also recognize it is a global event by what's happening in the globe. Greece and Euro, all of these financial things are just coming in front of our eyes one after the other. And, we are a global environment, so this RV is going to affect that environment, and Georgia Boy, I think, points some of that out. It really is a major event in our world, and I know people get disappointed when they might hear it isn't today or tomorrow. And, hey, I got to tell you, I didn't want to hear those 3 little words, not this week, because that was like, you got to be kidding me. You can feel the momentum like you're riding on the back of a thoroughbred and you're in the race, and you can see it. And then you find out you got to pull the reins in a little bit, and it's, but it is what it is, and it is a monstrous event, and all these different aspects have a play in this whole deal. And Iraq maybe needs some closure that, Blano, you speak well about, and Hammer, you do too. And we're getting there. There's no doubt about it. I just, I think everybody can feel that momentum of this thing coming to a close, and plenty of proof on the ground and boots on the ground, if you want to call it that are showing it clearly that we are reaching that point. So we might have to go through another weekend. I hope we don't. I hope something appears tomorrow, and wouldn't that be great? But I really would be surprised if we left March without the lion roaring, so to speak. So there you have it, guys.
I'm with you. I think it would be I can't even imagine getting out of March without a rate. I ain't even touching that subject right now because I was told something, and I'm just not putting it on the call right now. There's no consequence, but I don't think we will get out of March. Do we have any callers left, Miss Adele?
No, that's it. We're done. I need to close off the other queue.
Thank you for that. George?
Q&A session is over.
You have anything else, brother, man? I thank you for coming on. As always, you summed it up pretty good when you did your little spiel earlier.
No, I'm good, man. I was just listening, so enjoyed being on the call. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you for coming on. I'm going to try to give you a call here in a little bit when we get off. I want to run some stuff by you, too. But again, people, I'm going to touch back on a couple of little things. Again, we're all hoping we'll see an RV today, tomorrow. The likelihood, in my opinion, and Blano's opinion, I think Putty Tat's opinion, is probably fairly slim. Georgia Boy seems to think the possibility is a little bit higher that we could see it the next day or so. I'm gonna repeat this one more time. Just some of these people that are everyday people, y'all please be wise later on, because some of these people are going to be trying to get you to cash in and make investments with them. Use y'all's brains. If they do those strategies like they're doing the RV, I don't want nobody to get hurt. just keep that in mind, please. And I don't want your business in that arena, so that's not what it was about. I'm concerned about the people that are going to be hurt. Y'all, please keep an open mind to that information right there. And Blano, unless you have something, I think we're going to get off here tonight.
Just a real quick, I wanted to express my sincere and heartfelt appreciation to Adele for all, underline all 3 times, all that she does, has done, and probably will do, along with all the stuff she's probably done that nobody even realizes she's done. And I want to extend those same...
Y'all only knew what this lady does in the background. I got a back Blano up on that.
If it was television, I would. What was the deal where you tug your ear and wink for Dr. Dan, and I'd do that, and then I'd thank all the people for listening to my hoarse, coughing voice, and tickled to death to be here, to be able to be alive and share what I can with you, and Putty Tat, thanks so much. And I want to say one other quick thing about Putty Tat and some of her cohorts. I heard from a very, very, very good source a piece of shocking news, and it had to do with WGS. So I was standing up, and it knocked me down. So maybe there's a little more to it than I go back and forth, hot and cold on that whole thing, and I try to be honest and tell them, well, I don't believe a word of it, and something comes along, it's like, oh, you got to be kidding me, man, WGS, and it's like, yeah. So, and it was a really, really impressive source with some other information that has certainly held up. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe there's some linkage here that